Hi everyone, so welcome to our final part 4 of our full body workout. To round everything off, we're going to do a few stretches today. Ori and I are going to take you through a nice sequence which is going to work pretty much every part of your body, and I hope that you're going to enjoy it, and I'll see you on your mats. Okay, I'm going to get you started in a child's pose. So let's open up the knees and then walk your hands forward. So you always have two options in child's pose. If you come into this kind of shape whereby your knees are quite open, then it's more of a release in the lower back with a straight spine. So you're working into your hips as well, as opposed to you can keep your knees closed and then come forward. In this case, you're rounding more into the lower back. So the release is going to be more focused on the lower back and less on the hips. Okay, so you can bring your hands on top of each other here, rest your head, or if you're in your wide-kneed child's pose, then you can walk your arms forward and rest the forehead on the ground. So we're taking a few deep breaths down here, just to get the connection of the breath and the movement going. Really allow the belly to move with your breath. So as you exhale, especially let the belly come down with gravity. As you inhale, draw the navel in towards the back of the spine. And let the breath come and go pretty naturally. You can just lengthen it a little bit, but don't force the breath. And one or two more cycles. And then for a child's pose or thread the needle variation, everyone open the knees now. We're going to do a normal child's pose. Then slide your right hand under the right shoulder and then across the chest. So this is our normal thread the needle position. And then bring the right side of your head down. And then, now while you're there, pull the left armpit down. So by pulling it down, you'll feel an intensifying stretch of your deltoid on the right. Okay, so work on really pulling the right shoulder slightly back and pulling the left armpit down. Let's take one more inhale here. And then bring it back to center. Swap out your side. So right arm forward, left hand comes down, and then across your chest. One more long breath in, and then right hand comes back in, left arm slides back to neutral. Walk your hands forward, come up into a tabletop position. A few intuitive movements here, maybe a cat-cow. We're going to warm up the spine, work into the hips by circling them. And find a connection of your breath together with your movements of the body. Maybe take the left arm up to the ceiling, take a breath in here, and then bring it back down. And take the right arm up. On your breath out, bring it back down. One more cat-cow or circling of the hips. And then come to neutral. So our next pose is an S seat. So sit over onto the left hip, bring your left leg forward and create a 90-degree angle of your calf and your hamstring. And then your back leg is also bent at an 80-degree angle, same position. And you want to have more or less a 90-degree, not 80, a 90-degree angle between both legs on your inner thighs. Okay. Once you've got that, we'll first go into a twist. So twist over towards your left side. And don't use your arms just yet. Just use your body strength to twist and look over your left shoulder. And then when you find your maximum twist, bring your left hand down onto the ground and the right hand onto your knee. And then give a little bit of pressure here and look over your left shoulder. And deep breaths. Let the belly relax. Keep on breathing into the soft parts of your abdomen. Another breath in, and then come back to center. So you'll notice that I've got a little bit of space in this area here. Some people will be able to sit and really ground onto the mat here. That's because of flexibility in the hips. So some people will have a limitation here, like me. Other people will have a bit more flexibility here. So it doesn't really matter whether you're floating or you're all the way down. You will increase your flexibility over time as well. So now this is a variation of the pigeon stretch. So you're going to walk over your folded leg in the front. And there's not really a right or wrong, just feel it out. Which direction works best for you? You want to feel a stretch on your left hip. So maybe for that you have to twist a little bit further to the right. Maybe you have to go straight forward. You might even have to go a little bit to the left. So everyone is different, just keep that in mind. Find your position and we'll stay for about 10 breaths here. So this is a nice variation of pigeon for anyone who's got a bit sensitive knees or maybe a knee injury. So when you do a proper pigeon, then there's quite a lot of pressure on the knee, and sometimes that's not ideal. It doesn't really work for everyone. So if that is the case for you, whenever there's a half pigeon in your practice, then simply come into your S seat and just fold over the bent knee in the front. And your next inhale will bring you up again. And then come through center, just bring your right leg forward, coming straight into diamond legs. So create sort of a diamond shape with your legs. It's kind of like Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose where you pull your heels in, but this time we're going to just keep the heels slightly further away from the pubic bone. And then once you're here, come into your forward fold, just like you would in your Baddha Konasana. You'll probably have a bit more range here. And the stretch is also going to be in a different area as opposed to your butterfly pose. Once you get there, you can relax your neck if that feels good. And often when we do that in forward folds, you might feel a sensation throughout the whole length of your spine. That's your nerves talking to you. So if that is all right for you, if it maybe feels good, then stay here. If it doesn't really work, then you can always keep your head slightly elevated or even take your elbows and support your head here. If you've got blocks, obviously that works really well as well. And your next breath in will bring you back up. And nice and mindfully come into your S seat on the opposite side. So your right leg will be in the front, left leg behind, 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle, not 80. Okay, set up here. Come into your twist over to the right. Find your max and then place your hands down. And with a little bit of pressure, look a bit further over your right shoulder to the back. And one more breath in. Exhale, come back to center. Now come into your forward fold. Find whatever angle works best for you. Move around a bit, find out what feels good. And then once you've found your position, maybe walk a little bit deeper into it and then hold it here. Beautiful release for the hips. Try to soften every part, every area of your body that you don't have to engage right now. Especially the neck. You've got the same option here. Always, if you've got a block available, place it underneath your forehead. I've got lots of blocks there right now, just not using one. One more full cycle of breath, inhale. And a slow exhale. And your next breath brings you back up. All right, bring your legs forward for a moment. Just give them a little bit of a wiggle, a roll, a shake, whatever feels good. I always like to create some windshield wiper movements with my feet. That kind of releases the pressure nicely or the tension out of my hip joints. When you feel good to go again, just swing your legs behind you and come onto your knees. We're going to do a camel pose. So camel is always going to create a bit of pressure in your lower back, but in order to keep that to a minimum, we are working with opening up the chest rather than just, pushing the hips forward and just pressing the spinal discs together on the back of our spine. So to achieve that, bring your hands behind your back here. You can either point the fingers up or point them down. I prefer to point them down. Then take an inhale, really lift, push the chest forward, open up, pull the elbows back, and then begin to look slightly up. And really work on opening up the chest here, pushing the heart space towards the ceiling. Now, if your lower back is fine and you want a little bit more, you can begin to push the hips forward as well. And then you also have the option of either dropping the head back, like this, or if your neck is not super happy there, just keep on looking straight forward or maybe up to the ceiling. Whatever works best. Always protect the neck, so never put it into a position that feels uncomfortable. If you've got quite some flexibility in your spine, you can also come down, bring your hands onto the heels, and then push up from here. So deep heart opener here. One more last breath in. And then exhale, slowly come out, sit back onto your heels. Place your hands onto your knees, close your eyes, and just let that settle in for a moment. You'll feel quite a bit happening in your heart space. And we'll do one more round. 3 breaths here this time. So come back up onto the knees. Place your hands onto your lower back again. Take an inhale. Really open up the chest, lift here, and then open up. Maybe push the hips forward. Whatever position worked for you. If you want to come into a deeper position now, maybe only this time, bring your hands onto your heels. You can do that as well. And one more long, deep breath in. And on your exhale, slowly sit back onto your heels again. Close your eyes. Very energizing pose as well. All right. Come on back up onto your knees now. I'm going to just turn sideways here. For gate latch pose, bring your left knee, left leg out to the side. Point your toes about 45 degrees, I would say. Try to bring the sole of your foot down. If that doesn't work, maybe roll the heel up onto the side. But if possible, place the sole of your feet down. Bring your left arm out to the side. Right arm comes up and then over. So we're opening up the side body on the right side here. Flaring, open the ribs. And try to resist the urge of folding or flexing the hips here, and then therefore pushing the hips back, the bum back, and then coming into a forward fold. We really want the side stretch here. So coming over to the side, and then roll your shoulder, your rib cage open. Look over to the right. And again, if that doesn't work for your neck, just keep on looking straight ahead. And with every breath, you should feel like your ribs are opening up a little bit more. Your intercostal muscles are getting a nice deep stretch here. And with your exhale, you always soften into the stretch. With your next breath in, now come over to the side. Bring your right hand down onto the ground and your left arm reaches up and over. See how far you want to or can go here. Now this stretch is going to work more into this upper part of your body. Your latissimus, your trapezius is going to get a nice stretch here. Next breath in, come back to center and swap out your legs. Left knee down, right leg down, right leg out. So first right hand comes onto the leg, left arm comes up and then over. Now compare this stretch to the one that we're going to do on the other side. So feel which different areas of your side body might be affected more. So I can definitely feel a deeper, more tension on this side, on this area. So the soft part between my floating ribs, my rib cage, and my hip bone. Deep breath in, come through center, bring your left hand down. If this doesn't work, you can keep your left hand on your hip as well. Bring it down if you can, and then the right arm comes over. So now here, I can feel it more in this area of my side body. You might not feel the same, so just be curious about the different sensations in your body. And then breathe in, come back to center, bring your leg in, and we're facing this side again. So for anyone who's got sensitive knees, you can grab a towel or a blanket to place underneath your knee, or a block also works quite nicely. If you don't have any issues, if you've got nothing available, just bring your mat in and double it up. Otherwise, bring your left leg forward and then come forward into low lunge. Take some time here to set it up so that you really feel the stretch in your right groin here. And you want to have a more or less 90-degree angle in your left knee here. And then push the hips back for half split. Curl the toes up, really pull the chest down. Create a little bit of tension, of traction underneath your left heel, so that you really tilt the tailbone almost upwards a little bit. If you've got very tight hamstrings, simply keep the knee a little bit bent, and you can always just prop your hands up on blocks as well. And take one more breath in. Exhale. Bring your leg back in. Sit back onto your knees for a moment. And then come back up again. Step your right leg forward this time. Come straight into your lunge. Set it up. Feel it out. Never feel like you have to come into a rigid pose straight away. You actually never have to be in a rigid pose. You can always invite tiny, soft movements, whatever feels good in your body. Soften the hips. And relax into your pose. And if you do feel like moving around, then just do that. And with your next exhale, push the hips back for your half split. And again, push the heel into the ground, curl your toes back, and create a bit of traction under your right heel. First your heart to your knee, and then your nose to your knee. Never nose diving in first. Breathe in, exhale, release. And bring your leg back again. We want to come into a seated position. Okay, and just slowly roll yourself up onto your back. Bring your knees up, one knee into each hand. Gently sway here from side to side. This is my favorite lower back release. Maybe draw some circles to the right side and then the left side. Always make it your practice. I'm just here to guide you. That doesn't mean that what feels good in my body feels good in your body as well. And stretch your legs up for nice legs up the wall. Your arms can come onto either side. They can come out to the sides. Or maybe you want to bring your hands behind your head even. And roll your heels slightly apart. Big toes together. You're neutralizing the femur heads in our hips. Draining the lymph fluid and letting the blood flow towards the center of your body. If you feel like coming into a shoulder stand and it's part of your practice, then you can do that now. If not, then just stay here in your legs up the wall, or maybe you want to bring your feet down, knock the knees together. Just tune in for a moment before you move anywhere, and then if you want to come into a shoulder stand, bring your hands out to the side. Move into a plow first. Maybe your feet touch the ground behind your head, maybe not. Bring your hands onto the lower back and then bring one leg up at a time. Now once you're here, don't look left or right, really just watch your toes. And feel the pressure underneath your shoulders and your elbows. Your neck should feel pretty light. If you've got lots of pressure underneath your neck, then you're not using your arms enough. Really push the elbows down. Shoulder stand actually also works your triceps muscles, so try to become aware of that. And you can work on straightening out your body. Same action in your feet, roll the big toes together or keep the big toes together, roll your heels slightly apart. And then in your own time, when you feel ready, bring your knees down towards your ears. Rest in your deaf yogi pose for a moment. And then with or without the help of your arms, your hands, come on back down. Rolling the spine onto the ground, one vertebra at a time. Back into legs up the wall. Bring your knees into your chest, hands onto the knees one more time. Sway them from side to side. And moving into our last pose, our twist. I'm going to give you two options. You can either take both knees at a time, bring it over to the side, and then open up your left arm. Try to keep both shoulders connected to the ground. If you want a little deeper, more advanced twist, then you're going to come from lying on your back, cross your legs, left leg over your right. Grab your left foot with your right hand, is a little bit tricky, and your right foot with your left hand. For cat's tail, now roll onto your right side and extend your right leg and pull the left knee down. So we've got lots of things happening here at the same time. We've got a stretch of your IT band of your left leg. You've got a stretch of your quadriceps of your right leg, and then you've got a twist in your spine. Deep breaths into the belly. If you've got the range of motion, allow the head to roll to the left side. If not, just keep it straight. And if you can't reach your left foot here, then you can also just hold on to your left knee, maybe your left hamstrings, maybe your calf, whatever is available to you. One more breath here. And then release your legs, come back over through center, and we're moving onto the left side. So again, easy twist here, just rolling onto the left side, opening up the right arm. Or for cat's tail, I'm going to talk you through this one more time. So right leg crosses over the left this time. Left hand onto right foot, right hand to left foot. Okay? Or your shins, depending on your flexibility. Then roll onto the left side. Extend your right leg. Keep your left knee bent. Push the knee down and away. And straighten your right knee as much as possible. Head rolls either to the side or you keep looking straight up to the sky. Your last inhale here. Exhale, release your legs with control. Bring them back to center. Knees come into your chest. One last time, release the tension in your lower back. Sway a bit here. And then in your own time, when you feel ready, take a deep breath in. Pull the knees into your chest. And on your exhale, release all the way into your Shavasana. Straight legs, straight arms. If your lower back is talking to you today, feet onto the ground, onto the outer edges of your mat, knees knocked together. Take a deep breath in here. Fill up your lungs to the maximum. Now hold it here for a couple seconds. As you exhale, fully relax your body and sink into your relaxation, into your final and last pose, your Shavasana. Please rest here for as long as you would like. Take it one breath at a time. Allow the head, the mind to relax as much as your body thank you very much for joining me today and for participating in my full body workout. If you've done all 4 parts, maybe you've only done 1. And I hope you're going to have a lovely day. Thank you so much.